It's the Full Force News Burst, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod, AKA Diagnostic 80. Now let's get into the news.
Full Force!
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. Another busy day in the world of G.I. Joe, and of course, I rushed to the laptop to to get chatting about it. Lots and lots of cool stuff today. Of course, we've got the pre-orders went up today, as you know, as stated. Great, awesome. We had a little cheeky teaser in the background of the Hydro Vipers promo images, and by the way, those Hydro Viper promo images are exceptional. And yeah, I'll probably be talking about that particular little reveal right at the end of the show, just to annoy everybody. We've also got Skybound news, so we'll be doing a little comics burst intro where I talk for 3 hours about Skybound. But no, they've obviously revealed their compendium Vol.2, which is we're going to get stuck into as well. That's very exciting. And and also technically the only promo images that we have are, of course, Zartan, as in like proper diorama promo images, Zartan, Ninja Force Zartan, the Target exclusive, and Hydro Viper. So we're going to be looking at Zartan's promo images, because I don't think I've done that yet. We've had them for a while, you know, we posted them a couple of days ago, of course, but I don't think I ever talked about them. So in any case, we'll be chatting about the only promo images we have. Now I can say, just kind of like as an anecdote, the reason we don't have Dio promo images for that wave, there's nothing insidious. It's just that Matt wasn't available because he was doing something for the other team, and Corey is on holiday. So that's why promo images have not happened for those particular. They've actually, I think they've been taken. They just haven't been, finalized, shall we say. So we should see them pretty soon. So that was explained at Toy Fair. So we should see those pretty soon. But in terms of what we have right now, it's just Zartan and Hydro Viper who have got the really sexy diorama photos. Anyway, should we get stuck into it? Yeah, let's do it. We'll start, as we mean to go on, whatever that means, with the comics news. Yes, the awesome Skybound have revealed or announced that they were going to be doing another compendium Kickstarter for A Real American Hero. Now, if you recall, they did A Real American Hero compendium kind of collection on Kickstarter. They ran this last year, was it? Or was it before? No, it was last year, wasn't it? And it went gangbusters. Like, did crazy numbers. The Transformers one, I think, beat it a touch, but it still did in the mills. It was like 4 million or something, wasn't it? Or close to. So amazing, performance on that particular compendium. They're doing it again, and they're doing, obviously, because A Real American Hero continued after Marvel, didn't it? It continued into IDW when Larry kind of picked up again. So anyway, let me read out all of the information I have on this, because there's a lot to get through. So, Skybound, Image, and Hasbro announced new G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero compendium Kickstarter. The mission continues with 8 volumes collecting over 300 issues in a new campaign launching March 24th. Skybound have announced a campaign for new Kickstarter exclusive G.I. Joe, Real American Hero compendium sets 1 and 2. The compendium sets, including a total of 8 volumes, feature new key art by legendary Andy Kubert, X-Men, and collect over 300 issues from both Marvel and IDW eras of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, spanning from 1994 to 2022. Expanding on the previous Kickstarter that shattered crowdfunding records and dominated headlines worldwide. Fans can sign up for the mailing list now at www.gijoekickstarter.com to receive all campaign details and updates ahead of its launch on Tuesday, March the 24th, 2026 at 6 a.m. Pacific time. There you go. There's an exact date and time. March 24th, which is a Tuesday, 6 a.m. Pacific, which would be 9 a.m. Eastern. And you can sign up for updates and get the Kickstarter exclusive issue 244 variant free. Let me go just that one. That's the variant 244 issue. Man, I read ahead a lot further than I thought I had. Yeah, found it. You can watch the new campaign video right on their socials, not there at all, featuring the iconic series writer Larry Hama, Wolverine, and an all-star lineup of series artists. The new G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium sets 1+2 present the incredible heroes of G.I. Joe, the terrifying villains of Cobra, and the unforgettable stories that set them on a collision course, now collecting over 300 issues of A Real American Hero. These new hardcover compendiums collect the most iconic moments in Joe history, from Cobra Commander's seemingly successful world domination to the unforgettable introduction of Dawn Moreno, the all-new Snake Eyes. I just want to... Where did I want to go? I wanted to go here, didn't I, to look at these. So these are obviously the compendium box sets for each one. You've got all 8 volumes go in this Cobra one, the Cobra version, and of course the Joe one as well. The other 8 volumes in there. You've got Zartan on this cover, Roadblock on that one. That's the 244 issue variant. I'll get to the rest in a second. Hang on. And then here's some more. We've got Lady J. We've got Shipwreck, and we've got Beachhead. And here's the whole Joe lineup. We've got Snake Eyes. We've got Scarlet. We've got Stalker. We've got Duke, Roadblock, J, Shipwreck, and Beachhead. Very nice indeed. Anyway, what was I going to say? Is that everything? There's loads more, actually. It's just a lot of fans who back the first G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium set campaign can select a tier to purchase the new set of hardcovers, collecting issues 155.5 to 300, along with all the annual specials and more. So if you've already got the first lot of these, you don't need to go in for both. You can just get that tier that is just the ones that you need. So I think that is actual genius, in actual fact. I think that's a brilliant idea. Like that first campaign, you must choose a side. Will you stand with G.I. Joe or rule the world with Cobra? Either way, these deluxe hardcovers will look perfect alongside the original compendium set, presenting the iconic G.I. Joe series in the highest quality collections of all time. Following the massive success of our G.I. Joe campaign, we're going bigger and better with the second campaign, said Alex Antone, editorial director at Skybound. These collections are the most comprehensive assemblage, great word, of G.I. Joe Real American Hero material ever, and we can't wait for fans to see what we have cooked up. Fans won't want to miss backing the campaign to secure all the limited edition tiers and exclusive rewards, Kickstarter exclusive Larry Hama signed book plates, faux leather hardcovers, spot gloss, foil finish, and gilded edges on all books, satin ribbons, patches, pins, stickers, individual issue reprints, 2 source books featuring art from previous trading cards, vehicles, and more. Obviously there's no price in here yet because you'll see that when it goes live. Am I literally reading the promo copy too? Yes, I'm reading all the pertinent information that you may have questions about CERD 6292. And that is pretty much it in terms of the pertinent information. There you go. So it will close. The actual campaign closes Wednesday, April 22nd at 12 p.m. Pacific. Excuse me. So some very important information there, because I know a lot of you had questions about that. Not everyone, clearly. Everyone knows everything already. So why am I here? That's fine. But that's fun times. So not only is this going to be available in one big lump sum, so whoever missed out the first time can get involved with all of it in one go, but the ones that have already ordered that first, particularly were already involved in that first campaign, you don't have to buy everything again. There'll be a tier where you can literally just have the new stuff that's in this one, which is great. So there you go. That is all the pertinent information regarding the Skybound announcement. You can check out the video, of course, on the socials, which we shared too. And yeah, there'll be more information to come soon. And of course, gijoekickstarter.com if you want any more information, or if you want to be reminded of this actually happening. We also have images of Andy Kubert's work here, which is this new art, which is going in here. And of course, we've got the Black Major on there, which is great, because obviously they show up, the red shadows show up in the IDW series, don't they? It'd have been cool if there'd been like a Robo Skull in the background, but I don't think there is. Either way, very cool to see on the on this main image there for all those UK Palatoy fans. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I think that's everything. Oh, there's one more image, of course. There's the Good Guys image as well from Andy Kubert as well, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah, lots more art incorporated into this as well, and of course those beautiful compendiums. If you guys got in on that the first time, you know the kind of quality that you're dealing with there. So yeah, I think a lot of people were very happy with that compendium set. And for those that want to add to it, you will be able to. And for those that didn't get involved in the first time around, you can get everything in one go. Like, that's going to be one hell of a crazy delivery day, that is. Anyway, yes, that's Black Major, Carlos, because he's in that one, because he's in the IDW run of issues. So he's there on the front. Lovely stuff. There you go. Grizzlehorn says, so I can get the first and these. Effing awesome. Indeed. Right, that is everything for the comics news tonight. So we'll move into the non-comics news now, the action figure news, and we'll check out and talk about the pre-orders today. So let's do that. Yes, so pre-orders kicked off today. It was Airtight, Sundown, Overkill, and Hydro Viper. It's on the screen, literally. I could have just looked up from the mainline wave of 5, but only 4 because Dawn's already been up for pre-order. So she's the 5th of that mainline wave of 5. Not confusing at all, is it? Deluxe Royal Guard, mainline, and Target exclusive Ninja Force Zartan. We also get our first look at another G.I. Joe character, which is written very prominently on this particular graphic. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll start off, though, with Zartan's promo images, because I haven't talked about all of these yet, and I haven't had them. Like, we've had a couple of shows, and they were available. When did I have them? Because I've done like a show. I feel like I've done a show like every night for every day since the beginning of time, it feels like now. But I do feel like I'm doing a lot more episodes, excuse me, than previous. But we had those Zartan promo images quite early on, if I can find the post, 2 days ago. So how I didn't talk about these promo images in any of those episodes since we had them, like yesterday, for example, I'll never know. But anyway, we've got some lovely shots here of Zartan. Here he is, infiltrating, or attempting to infiltrate the Arashikage compound. You may argue he already has infiltrated the Arashikage compound. We don't know the narrative here. And yeah, this one, I believe, has sold out. Crazy pants of both Pulse and Target, which is actually impressive, considering everyone moaned about how terrible Ninja Force Zartan is. Not everyone. A lot of people. There's a lot of discourse in the old comments about Ninja Force Zartan not being a figure they really care about, but sold out. Amazing. This is at least the 5th day in a row you've been live. That's how I roll, Mark. Ripcord and Bongo 2-pack, says Ryan. That'd be crazy. Ninja Battles playset confirmed, says Carlos. Damn, yeah, that'd be cool. Damn them sneaky punk rockers, says Scott. Anyway, yeah, so I hear Pixel Dan got them all. Yeah, of course, Grizzle. That's actually what happened. I think Pixel Dan just bought all of them. Do you know what? There is a strong correlation. Paul said happens every time. There is a strong correlation of internet discourse about a figure and its ability to sell out inside a really short period of time. I wonder if the discourse fuels more engagement and more like sharing, and it just by an algorithmic level gets out there to like the nth degree. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it, because it did seem like a lot of people were complaining about this figure, as they do. You know, I have a similar feeling about the Rocklaw and Deinonychus set. You know, I just have a feeling that's probably going to zip away as well. Also, you know, a lot of people kind of saying that, well, again, I agree with this one, but you know, the Royal Guard is a phenomenal figure, but it's difficult as a troop builder when you know you got to spend 40 odd bucks each time. That I'm totally understand. I understand that wholeheartedly. But it's one of those. It's a weird one, that, because the figure's so bloody good that, you know, it's like, I kind of want it to have all that cool stuff and want the option to switch it around and have multiple options, but at the same time it's like it's expensive as hell. And actually there are Royal Guard promo images that were out today which we hadn't seen before, and I could have added them to this, but I didn't, so boo me. But maybe we look at them on the weekly, because it's not like I have another 12 episodes in the pocket over the next couple of days. By the way, earlier today I spoke to the awesome Scott Johnson of classified art fame, so we'll be posting that as soon as I get it edited and sorted out. But that was really, really fun. Scott's awesome, and yeah, I think you guys will enjoy that redacted. It's very cool. Anyway, Zartan. Now, I had said to Lenny, and this is me being an idiot, really, more than anything, but I was convinced that specifically the bladed weapon on the right hand side, as you look at this image in its sheath, very reminiscent, obviously, of Spearhead's knife, and by that I mean it's Spearhead's knife. But I checked beforehand, but I couldn't recall if Zartan came with that same knife originally, the Ninja Force Zartan one, and of course he bloody does. Even when I checked, I just missed it on the sprue, just completely missed it. And anyway, so I was assuming that we were getting some sort of like pre-tool hint at a possible Spearhead turning up. Now, it doesn't mean we're not, but it doesn't definitely, like, it isn't, this wasn't the case. It wasn't like they made Spearhead and they just used the knife as Zartan. So in this particular situation, hell, we've got a pre-tooled knife for Spearhead as and when the the situation occurs. Yes, Bees Battlefield has just reviewed the Royal Guard. We shared that on our socials earlier today. Go check it out. Bees Battlegrounds, awesome review channel. Bees Battlegrounds, a Shark-Eyed Toy View. They always manage to get those figures early, don't they? I'm super jealous, but I am also a big fan of both. So no classified Spearhead ever confirmed. Exactly right. So that was really just me, unfortunately, trying to speculate something that doesn't actually exist. So there you go. So just to kind of make that very clear, no Spearhead technically, but his knife's ready for him whenever they decide to do Spearhead and Max. And I would be surprised, genuinely surprised, if Spearhead and Max is not on a shortlist somewhere, because as a figure pet set, that's the only no-brainer left, isn't it? I mean, I know we've got things like Deep Six and Finback. We've got what else have we got left? There are more, aren't there? And I just can't think off the top of my head. There's the electronic. There's the mechanical shark, isn't there? With the eels, version 2. Oh, Dread Nasty says, I've been too busy to keep up with all the news. Is there a pre-order date for Zanya yet? No official date as yet, as Scott has mentioned there in the comments. Not yet, no. Dusty and Sandstorm, yes. Dusty and Sandstorm. Thank you, Scott. They, of course, idiot that I am. And yes, Mutton Junkyard for DEF is a good shout, Michael, especially considering Headman has been not name revealed, but name dropped in the lore scenario. Widescope and Lamont's a good one. I'm talking obvious here, guys. Like, Widescope and Lamont is a great figure pet set. Absolutely, Airborne's Customs. But in terms of like the odds on, the obvious next one that I think everyone would be up for, I think, I think Spearhead Max is high on that list, is all I'm saying. Kangor with the kangaroo, indeed, Paul. High up there. Mutton Junkyard for Marauders, a good shout as well, Scott, there. And Thrasher and his Thunder Machine, says Ed. I like that. That's a nice twist on what I was talking about. Anyway, there's more images of Zartan, and here I am stuck on that one just because of Spearhead. Thanks, Spearhead. Yes, Ninja Force Mutton Junkyard, says Couchboy. Just kidding. Is there a Night Force Mutton Junkyard? Is there a Ninja Force Mutton Junkyard? Not that I'm aware of. But yeah, Mad Marauders definitely, and DEF for sure. Toy Bounty Hunter says, don't worry, the knife means we will get Spearhead as quickly as we got Flash once his weapon was revealed with Glenda. Wait. Yes, absolutely. Good point. Good point. Although I will say that Flash has been on last year's line plan originally when we got like information. So it was supposed to be in that wave that just got absolutely like moved around and switched up and flashed about with. And then you had that sort of knock-on effect going into this year. So I would say that Flash has got to be on the cards sooner rather than later. Voltar, of course, Mark. Voltar and his Vulture, of course. Of course. There is a Tiger Force Mutton Junkyard, Jeremy, indeed. Storm Shadow and Tiger. I like that little adventure team reference, Sigma 6 adventure team reference. Jacques and Raid, if you're nasty. My God, Ed. Ninja Force Mutton Junkyard is only slightly crazier than Ninja Force Zartan, and only even slightly crazier than Ninja Commando's Road Pig. Right? Am I right? Voltar and Vulture, yes, Carlos, indeed. Tommy and Tiger, yes, indeed. Right, okay, that's enough figure and pet chat. Zartan, yeah, so it looks great. Beautiful images. Again, infiltrating this Arashikage compound, looking through these slats in the roof there with the light coming through. These are, I love the promo images so much. It's one of, if not my favorite aspect of the Classified series, as he just completely craps on the wonderful figure designs, the wonderful packaging, artwork and what have you, and all that stuff. Even the listings I've just crapped on. Everyone knows my favorite thing is going through listings like some sort of detective. But yeah, I think the promo images are some of my favorite things because we like get to pore over them. First of all, enjoy them as they're beautiful, as I cut through these a little bit faster now. And then also possible Easter eggs in the background. Couldn't see anything with Zartan, right? I'd mentioned Finback, Carlos. Yeah, I did mention Finback. Did anybody else see anything in the background here other than the Arashikage sort of location homage? It would have been cool if they just threw in like that, just to really screw with us, the higher Storm Shadow in the distance to make it look like we were getting that classified unreleased Storm Shadow from the first from back in the day. Ed says, I love internal code names. Pat's a party pooper. Indeed. Are the sword designs a special throwback? Asks Falcon. They're just effectively copies of the ones he had. Let me show you. Now, I, again, thought that one of them was Spearhead's knife. I really did. But no, it is just a case of them being the same ones that he had back in the Dizzy. He even had, if we go to 3D Joe's to have a look at it, so he had two kind of similar, he had one sword and then the spearhead knife kind of redone. He had the two like little knives that went in his leg straps, sort of the throwing knives, which weren't very throwy. But the actual sword that he had was very significantly different. It was a bigger sword. You can see it there. Bigger sword, big hilt. Not the same as the one there. They kind of did like a variation on the other one that he came with, which, as you can see, is very clearly in his hand there. Spearhead's reused knife. Okay. And then obviously a crap ton of other weapons. He had the bow, which obviously is incorporated here. The two little throwing knives, which again are incorporated here, and the Karma weapon, which is really cool. So it's nice that they created that Karma and made it a little bit more cool with that little hand protector. Let me get to that particular weapon. There he is, whipping his swords out. There it is. So he's got the look at that's very similar, but without he's got a bow rather than the knife. the sword. So that's the original, and then obviously the one that he got has that sort of like bladed kind of finger guard. Easy for me to say. There's a moon payload confirmed. Thank you, Scott. I like that. Is Cobra Commander's face on the moon behind Zartan? Asked Ryan. Genius. I like it. Again, good shout. A good media shout out. I like it. Snake armors, exactly. Are anyone seeing any snake armors? I know I usually see snake armors in these scenarios. I really love the fact that they've got a removable quiver on the bow as well, so it kind of clips on and off. And of course, the bowstring also switches out, which is really cool. It's a really nice touch, that, because I know a lot of people were annoyed that they could only have the bow sort of in one kind of position. So to do this new thing with a relaxed and a drawn bow is actual genius. It would be sweet if they showed a hard master in the background. I agree. Dr. C. Taylor 66 or DRC Taylor 66. Hard to say, but yeah, if they'd have done a hard, soft, or a blind in the background, that would have been amazing. Falcon says it reminds me of Darklon's sword, only smaller. Yeah, it sounds like that quote in Jarhead when they're in the showers. If you know, you know. Andrew says technically, isn't Arctic Mission Storm Shadow Ninja Force Storm Shadow? Yes, technically, and really only by Deco. But oh yeah, I mean, yeah, basically. But I do think they could probably do another round with that particular figure, because I would say that the articulation in the lower legs isn't as good as a lot of the other figures that we've had since and before that as well, which was odd. So avoiding the articulation in the lower legs was a poor decision, because it does limit that figure in so many ways. Like, it's only really like a standy uppy figure, really, in my opinion. But I think they could redo that one, make it a little bit more closer to the retro version, the original version, and kind of give us that on a retro card, please and thank you. That'd be so freaking amazing. A ninja jumped over the moon. Indeed, Carlos. Ed says technically any Ninja Force character could be in these photos. They're just practicing the art of invisibility. Thanks, Ed. You're always good for a hilarious comment in the quotes. I love it. T-Blade 5678 says that's not a moon, it's a snake armor battle station. Now you're talking my language. Scott says that Karma is reminiscent of a piece of Kusagari Gamma as I had as a teen. That's cool. I remember I was infatuated by like ninja weapons when I was a kid, and my mate Ian, shout out to Ian McQuatty. How you doing, buddy? I haven't spoken to Ian in years, actually. It's sad, actually. But I hope you're doing well, mate. And you're not watching this, so I don't know why I'm talking to you like as if I'm actually talking to you. But anyway, Ian was into martial arts, and they had I guess his dad had them, but he had them. Like padded nunchucks, like training nunchucks with like the soft kind of foam around the hard plastic kind of handles, and they might have been metal handles, actually. They might have been metal handles. They were substantial. Anyway, I got to borrow them. They let me borrow them for like a weekend, and they were so cool. And like, yeah, just doing all the just doing all the little maneuvers with them. I was like Michelangelo for a weekend, and it was the most fun ever. But yeah, they were dope, and they were black foam around the edges to make them so they weren't as dangerous. And they had a really beautiful, like I think like a white dragon sort of stamp, like a embossed, pressed in logo to the foam. Anyway, it's very tactile memory. We were as that came up in the comments there. Couchboy says, "Isn't Hardmaster dead in the background, off in the distance?" Very good point. I mean, he's at the Arashikage compound, although technically at that point he wasn't Ninja Force Zartan. He was just Zartan in well, actually no, wasn't he dressed as Storm Shadow? Was he dressed as Storm Shadow? I can't remember that now. That I feel like I've had an incorrect memory brain fart there. Was he disguised as Storm Shadow? I can't remember, but I know he wasn't rocking the orange mohawk and the biker jacket. That is the bow that should have come with Storm Shadow V2, Luke. I agree. Well, Zartan did kill the Hardmaster, yes, Jason, but not this version of him. Zartan's legs should be spread more like the Air Jordan logo in this pick. I agree. Let's move it on and have a look, even better look at that bow. Give us Billy, says Chris G. I like that. Can he knock his arrows? DRC Taylor, I hope so. Felix says, I do really want a varmint, but not all the other things with it. It's funny, I've heard so many, it's funny you should say that, Felix. I've seen a lot of comments where it's, I want the varmint, or I want the snake eyes, or I want the stealth viper, or I want the trouble bubble, but nobody wants all of it at the same time. It's all like very specific, I think. And I'm not saying it's a mistake on Hasbro's part, but I am interested to see what that particular set does, sales wise, because I could see that one. It could go one or two ways, because it's got snake eyes in it. It could sell crazy pants. Or it could be one of those ones that we see, like, the 788 Fire Team, which was amazing and dope, but did sit there for a while. The Crimson Strike 3-pack sat for a while. The Techno Viper and MMS sat for a while. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the deal is and what happens with that particular 2-pack. I agree. I will say, because I always say this, but I love the homage of Snake Eyes as the puffy sticker. I think that's amazing. And yeah, and like as a byproduct, you've got that basically a Resolute Snake Eyes head, haven't you? The Varmint's nice in green. I think it's a very nice vehicle in green. I like the ferret in general is really nice. So to have it in like different colorways is dope. And then what I love most about the Stealth Viper and the Stealth Trouble Ball is the fact that it's 788, and I'm I very much enjoy adding to sub teams, no matter how minimal, or just one figure here or one figure there. But getting like a figure and a mini vehicle to add to the 788 is pretty cool. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I want both of them, and if I have to buy them at the same time together, that's fine by me. But I do think, I think it's one of those ones where I think a lot of people would have preferred them to be separated at minimum. They need to do all the Arashikage Masters. Honestly, it would be a massive miss to not get them in 6-inch. I agree, Bias. I agree. Couchboy says yes. Billy, Quinn, October Guard, Tommy Green Hat, Blonde, Snake Eyes, all comics since Dawn. Give me all of them. Agreed. Billy is Ninja Force, though. Yes, I guess he is. I'm sitting here watching the channel and enjoying life. Just feels amazing being here listening to Joe talk. Thank you, Mark P. 587. Yeah, it's nice chatting about G.I. Joe in a fun way. And we're getting slowly through these images. I'm getting to Hydro Viper. I know everyone's really annoyed that I haven't talked about that yet. We will get there. I'm going to just move away from the comments for a second. Sorry I didn't get to everybody's. I do appreciate them all, guys. And like I said, if I if I catch if I've missed anything and you definitely want me to read it out, or a question or whatever you have, put it in again and I'll try and catch it again. I apologize. It's difficult because it comes in pretty quick. Sharp Sneaky Link says, hey Chris, just jumped in. Do you know the number for the Battle in the Box pack? I do not. I'd actually, this the one thing I don't think I'll ever get information on in advance. I only ever know the numbers of the figures when we see any sort of box leaks. So if we get the box images, like the promo, but sort of like just the boxed inbox packaging images, that's the only time I'll ever know what the numbers are. But I never ever see that until like closer to release. So unfortunately, no, I don't. A lot of people are saying it might be 195 because it's the only one that doesn't have, there wasn't a box to be shown, so we couldn't see what number it was. So it could very easily be 195, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Dr. Link Talbot with a zoo and Venomous Maximus with a group of mutant troopers, says David. Is that in relation to the figure pet sort of conversation, David? Because yes, I would love Dr. Link Talbot with a zoo. That would be amazing. Scott said you should go back to comics news. Super Sumerian says Supka. I like that. That reminds me of the scene with Thingy and Fast and Furious. Just when he's basically asking those questions and he's like, what does he say? Is it forget about it, Kerr? That's what it reminded me of. Am I still getting an interview from Atomic Arcade dudes, even though they've shut down? No. Not at the moment, no. If I can get any sort of interview after the fact with anyone that worked there, to talk about, if they can, because a lot of them might be still under strict NDAs and things like that, then yeah, but that might be a bit further into the future. I always feel a little bit, I don't think that's something that should be done like immediately, just for multiple reasons, but things like, respecting the situation and the people involved. I don't want to be kind of like hounding people when they're in the middle of like going through something like that. But I know what you mean. Like in general, am I going to interview them? I'd love to speak to them and get their input on what the game was going to be like if it is cancelled. The game, that is, because that could still be happening. We don't know yet, though. I guess what we'll do is we'll wait for the dust to settle, and then maybe I will start making sort of inquiries much later, to see what we can do with regards to that. But yeah, I'd love to talk to them, just to see what it was like, what the situation was, what the what the game was looking like, and what they could what they could say about it. It would be so cool. But like I said, there would probably be strict NDAs going on there. That Varmint Snake Eyes comes in the same deco as the Snake Eyes that came with the SDCC Hound Vamp. Actually, that's another good shout, DRC Taylor, or Dr. C Taylor. I don't want to disrespect you if you are a doctor. So yeah, so that Snake Eyes, you're right. It was that deco in that Hound set, which may also have been another nod to the Puffy Sticker redeco Snake Eyes from back in the day. Everything's connected. Roger X99 says, thanks. You're welcome, bud. Chester Deadly says, good evening, Chris. Thank you for all of your coverage from Toy Fair and these news bursts. I always appreciate what you bring to the fandom. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. I have that Sigma 6 ATV. It came with Duke and it's black, dark blue. Okay, I'm getting in other people's conversations here. My apologies, guys. Anyway, let's keep moving. So there's Zartan looking cool again. Now, Hydro Viper. We're here, people. I know, and this is where you wanted me to start. I know, but that's what I do. I do it for the long engagement. I'm here for the long engagement, whatever that means. So yeah, we have these beautiful promo images of the Hydro Viper, looking very rad indeed. Here he is, just floating, just no helmet, no gas tank, because these guys can actually breathe underwater and have been biologically enhanced to deal with all that. So I think the helmets, more than anything, are just to scare the crap out of whoever's underwater with them. I think they don't even need that stuff. If anything, it hinders them. Like in sort of the NFL style, where you've got the helmets and all the gear, kind of like you take all that off, they can run, even faster and jump higher and everything. But in this case, I think these guys are terrifying, and I think what they aim to do is intimidate even more with those scary ass masks. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at that, the Devil Ray in the background as well. Oh, Hydro Viper needs a good mani-pedi, says Carlos. Yeah, with those dragon feet, those dragon claws. I don't know why I call them dragon claws. I always have done. I just think it's funny. I know it's not that funny, really. Michael says the Atomic Arcade interview is the kind of interview that needs to be made for posterity, even if it has to be sealed for 20 years. For sure. That Devil Ray is a good boy, says Scott. Yes, he is. It's the Devil Ray's dope. It's so cool. I'm so excited to get multiples of these, because obviously the pre-orders happened today, and I did not waste any time. I got my order in, guys, for everything inside a minute. I did it inside 60 seconds. Are you proud of me? I was. And it helped that you could kind of like, it does like a pop-up now on Pulse, on the laptop anyway, on the desktop, I should say, where you click on the thing and it pops up like a separate pop-up. You can add it and then you can click behind again to get to the next one. And it's so much quicker. And I was doing that today, and started with Zartan, of course. But I risked it. and I just kept going and adding. And then when I got to where I needed, I just went doink, and it was all there locked in. I'm like, hoorah. So that's happy. Happy times. That is a great shot, Realzim. It really is. Ryan says, same philosophy as giving a raptor a horned helmet. It is more efficient. No. Is it more efficient? No. It is metal. Exactly. And then one of them, and then fire emoji. Absolutely, Ryan. It's 100% intimidation factor, scaring the opposition. Yeah, definitely. Great camera work on that, says Jedi Ben. Indeed, there's more. I mean, look at this one. Oh, it's so good. That helmet is ridiculous. I love it. I am so happy they went with the card art design over. And as much as I do love that action figure helmet as well, it's a completely different helmet. But how about this? I would love them to do a retro carded Hydro Viper with the altered helmet. I think that would be sick, bruv. Sick. Couchboy says he's so inspiring since I can't swim. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. Chris says UK comics nostalgia for the Furman comics showing strong, Chris. Indeed. Do you know what? Like the Super 7 Hydro Viper. Oh my god. I can't wait for that as well. Like, seriously. The fact they went with the deco as well from Action Force Monthly, issue 14, just unreal. Unreal. Gone in 60 seconds, says Chris G. I was gone in 60 seconds, and so was some of the product by the sounds of things. Ed says, under 60, nice. I had to place multiple orders so I can cancel partials for troop builders. I got 5 Cobra La guards and 4 Hydros. Some of you guys are crazy with your troop building. I'm here for it, but I'm not getting involved. It's amazing stuff though. Yes, they did board with figures. They did explain why there wasn't an extra hand for Hydro Viper. It was costed out. So yeah, with all the other things that went into it, all the new sculpt and all the new tooling, yes, it was an element that was costed out of the. But it was, they did intend to have the extra hands, but they were costed out, which is a shame because I genuinely think it's the only thing holding this back. And oh, Dragon Claws. I see what you mean, Chris H. No, not a problem. Not a problem. Dragon's Claws. Yes, indeed. You're absolutely right. Maybe that's why I called them Dragon's Claws, because of that. Maybe that is the case. No, you're absolutely right. And sorry for completely missing the point on that one. But coming back to board with figures, costed out. But I do think that it's the only thing holding this back from being the most ultimate action figure of all time. That it's still great, but that would have made it even more monumental. Comics 2-pack Hydro Viper and Bat. Don't, Scott, please don't play with my emotions like that. That would be so cool. Getting like a blue bat in classified, yeah, with the kind of mustard yellowy, orangey yellow kind of bits, and then having the kind of the sexy flesh tone comic Hydro Viper from the UK. That would be so crazy. Twisted said, had a chaotic few minutes at work right at 1 p.m. today. Got online at 1:16. Had to go Pulse, Amazon, and Target to get my orders in. Yes, at least though, it's one of those things where you can get them elsewhere if you failed somewhere. There's always somewhere else to kind of go. But yeah. A lot of people I know had major work issues today at like 1 o'clock, and it sucked, like meetings and things like that as well. But yeah, I was like, I don't care what the hell's burning down. I've got to make this my priority for 60 seconds. I think I can spare 60 seconds while the entire universe collapses around me. Those ears are reminding me of Pee Wee Herman, says Carlos. Fun. Here's a shot of the back end, just in case you needed that. What's interesting, by the way, is we have one more image, pre-order promo image, than the Hasbro Pulse website does. So I think this is the one that isn't on the Hasbro Pulse page, which is crazy. Right, should we get to the main thing that we were getting to? Still not there yet. Anyway, have I talked Deep Six yet? Not yet, Texan Ray. Literally it's just around the corner though. Leon says, no joke, I'm seriously considering a fish tank with coral, etc., filling it with clean resin and all the divers inside. That would be insane. That would be so cool. It'd be really good. I mean, I would definitely do something like that as long as I had extras, like multiples, so that, you know, some of them weren't, you know, fused in a plastic prison for the rest of their lives. But no, that would be so cool. They're doing like a display and then just filling it with resin. Like, it would be so dope. Anyway, let's move, shall we, to the next image. As the Hydra Viper is perfect. I mean, what more can we say? And these images are gorgeous. I am back from NYC. Yeah, I was actually back on Sunday. I came back Sunday morning, easy, like Sunday morning. I just went for the Hasbro event. That was all I went for. I went there, got in, ate something, set up, went to the Hasbro event, pieced back out to the hotel, worked all night to get you guys content, and then came straight back in the morning. For the first 2 hours of my journey, I was just sharing images that we had from the Hasbro email where they send the kind of materials out after the fact. But yeah, anyway, anywho's and Susan, let's get into it. Yes, then there was this shot, and the internet imploded because of, you know, Easter eggs. Did I get what I traveled for? Certainly did. I got what I wanted out of the situation with New York. But anyway, yes, Deep Six showing up in the background. Name only revealed Deep Six, of course, as we already know. And they've gone ahead and given us a really big teaser here. Like, this is, you know, it's not clear. It's a bit blurry, of course. We can zoom in on him. But I think we can all agree what this is and how freaking awesome this is going to be. Deep Six version 1 coded with the deco and everything, and what we can make out of the actual figure as well. And all I can say is I cannot wait. It's not a repainted snake armor, Scott, and I can't be sure about that because I think I immediately was looking for snake armors when the images came up. But yeah, I think this is going to be a banger. A lot of yellow on that helmet, says Airborne's Customs. Yeah, also a helmet, right? So there was a Deep Six had the dome as well, didn't he? So I've got a feeling, because he is going to be, we do know that he's a deluxe figure, right? This is me doing my what's the word? My detective work here. Now, obviously, there is just a clear dome on the original. So I wonder if we've got options with the headgear, is all I'm thinking. I think there might be options with this one based on the fact that, you know, we've got a deluxe figure. Could be a V2. Yeah, it could be a V2 Airborne's Customs. Yeah. Like the helmet, you mean? Yeah, big time. So yeah, it could be like a nod to that second version, and then maybe we do have a dome in there as well. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Will he have the pump, says Diecast? I don't know. That'd be freaking amazing though. I think most of us expected him a bit Iron Manned, but I wonder if he'll have the full bubble dome as well as the helmet. Yeah, Chris, I think there'll be options with this one. I think there'll be options here. No underwater payload version 2, lol. Oh, okay, you think it's payload. Okay, fair enough. But I think there's going to be options with this one, and I think there's going to be some decent gear with him. I think the image, obviously, him being quite far in the distance, does skew maybe how large the figure could be. So I expect this figure to be a bit bigger, obviously, than the Hydro Viper. But again, I am exceptionally excited for this one, because I think this is going to be another one where originally a bit of a goofy figure, like a big block of plastic. I know people have a lot of love for it. I love it. It's amazing. Well, who wouldn't? But in terms of like articulation, minimal. In terms of like, you know, like anything really, it's difficult to really get anything out of Deep Six in that sense. I mean, he kind of looks like, you know, when the Senator in X-Men gets mutated and he's on the table with I think Halle Berry Storm is talking to him, and then he just starts melting and like away and wobbles into like water. That's sort of what Deep Six looks like there. Yeah, 2 points of articulation, or maybe 3 with the head, right? Is that right, board six with figures? Does the head turns, right? I want to say the head moves and the arms move, but I could be wrong. I wonder if the suit is removable. No, it's not. So we do know that it's one figure. It's just a deluxe figure. There might be like removable armor pieces, though. I could see that being a possibility. Yeah, I did. I mentioned that early, Paul, in the episode regarding the images, the promo images. The reason that the other wave didn't get promo like diorama images is because Matt was being utilized in a different on a different brand at the time, and Corey's on holiday, so that they'll just come a little bit later. They're just a little late to the party with the latest diorama images, basically. Toy Biz made that blob of a senator as a figure. Yes, they did. Airborne's Customs, they did. Chris H, Homer Simpson voice. Deep Six goes up, Deep Six goes down, Deep Six goes up, Deep Six goes down. Brilliant. But limited articulation does match up to suit design. I agree, Andrew, on that one. I wanted an exosuit with the ability to take him out and have him in basic gear. Yeah, that would have been cool, Leon, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it will just be, if anything, you might be able to remove some pieces, but I don't think it's not like a snake armor scenario. And I know it's not the same thing, but I don't think it's like, you can pull him out of it sort of thing. Well, we'll see anyway, won't we? If the suit was removable, it'd be like $100 easy for that amount of engineering tooling. Yeah, it would get complicated if you just had the basic figure and then everything around it, sort of like Tripwire. They did. I think that's about the extent that you could kind of keep in that deluxe price point. I don't think you can go any further than that, really. He says, with a Royal Guard image on his laptop background. That flat hand makes me want a second hand. You and a lot of other people for sure. Hope he has the American flag on the chest of the suit. Bjorn says, yeah, that I think, yeah, I could see that. Although this one doesn't. This Deep Six on 3D Joe's doesn't have that. Unless you're talking about a different figure and you're having a conversation that I'm not involved in. That's totally fine. Anyway, that is Deep Six. Really, really excited to see this as a little Easter egg homage in the background of the Hydro Viper promo images. And yeah, I think we can expect when this particular figure drops, which by my calculations, this is the second deluxe figure of the year. So the first one being Cobra La Royal Guard. Deep Six is the next one, right? So probably Yojo June. That is a ways off. We're in February right now. Well, we're all not almost in March, but it's not long before we're in March, right? April, May, June. It's a decent clip away, but we have got things happening in between now and Yojo June. Now, I've been told that we can expect, obviously, you've got the Dire Night Creeper, which is going to be March Walmart Collecticon. So we can expect that around there. So that's not very far off at all next month. Then obviously we've got things like Red Dog and Taurus, Zanya and the Chameleon, and the Dino, the Professor Rockclaw and the Deinonychus. Those three are going to be sprinkled, as far as I'm aware, between this point and Yojo June. And then Yojo June will be, I think, that 2-pack with the Varmint and the Stealth Viper and the Stealth Trouble Bubble. So that's rough on Special Forces in that time as well, by the way, in the between now and Yojo June. So it's really just that 2-pack of vehicles that's going to be in Yojo June, where everything else I've been told is going to be sort of like within now and Yojo June. So there's a lot to enjoy. Yeah, there's also going to be, obviously, we've got Retro Wave, we've got loads more. There's loads more stuff to come. You've seen the listings. In fact, there they are. So we've got obviously another wave of 5 figures around JoJo June time, which would include Iceberg. And then we have, of course, like I said, the Legacy Cow Special Forces figure, which I'm assuming, again, is within that time period of now and JoJo June. Not assuming, that's what I was told, but like I don't know when in that period of time. Rockclaw and the Dino, same sort of situation, sort of in a limbo between here and JoJo June. Deep Six will probably be JoJo June in that case, I would imagine. And of course, alongside the ATV and the Stealth Pod. Then, of course, we've got that Wild Bill wave of retro with the other two, Dad and Miss Spell, who we don't know what they are yet. That would obviously have to happen at some point between now and JoJo June, I would say, because, or if that one is JoJo June, then you'd have the last 3 towards the end of the year. So they might spread them out like that. They might do. It depends, I guess, on many factors. And then, of course, yeah, we've got Target exclusives, we've got Walmart exclusives. It's crazy. So Triple 2-pack, aka Chabang and Other, and of course the Vavoom 2-pack, they're going to be later in the year. Walmart, same situation for Montaro and Ghost. They just spread them out across their collective collecticons or their collective events, don't they? Then, of course, the Taurus and Red Dog is between now, Zanya as well, between now and JoJo June, and Arctic 3-pack. Anybody's guess, but I would imagine they would have it maybe for JoJo June or SDCC, so that they would have it before the end of the year to kind of coincide with all the other Arctic stuff. Jim Smith, do we know who 195 is? We did cover this already, but no, not technically. We don't know what 195 is, but I was suggesting it could possibly be the ATV versus the Stealth Pod, because we haven't got a package for that, Kitty said. But it could also be the Arctic 3-pack. I don't know. Like there's a few options at the moment. But as far as at the moment right now, we do not know what that 195 is. Isn't the Special Forces Legacy character a green beret? Well, it's got beret and it's green, but I don't know if it's specifically a green beret. I think they kind of just generically say Special Forces to kind of cover bases in that sense. How is Jinx not a Ninja Force figure? I don't know, Huntress, actually. I do not know. Scott says 195 could also be SDCC, since that would be around the time the rest are hitting shelves. Good point. I like that thinking. Only February, and we already have nearly half the listings unlocked. Very nice. Well, funny enough, Roger X, if you go back to last year, it'd be interesting actually to see. Go check out an episode from what were we in February of last year and see what the listings look like, because I feel like we were further along with the listings last year than we are right now. But also, there's a crap ton more listings. So you'd have to do it like mathematically. You'd have to scale up the percentage kind of thing. You'd have to look at it as a percentage of what we have. Jinx is a Ninja Force figure, but it's a secret because ninjas. Hello, Diana. Very nice. Last year, 318, the Joe team had an event. Yes, White, because the line plan got bumped around and we ended up with a wave of figures brought forward and a kind of mix and match sort of scenario that were never planned originally to happen. So that line plan got kind of, pushed about a bit. But yeah, we did. And we got, was it Cobra Commander, Major Blood, Monkey Wrench, version 4 Snake Eyes wave, wasn't it? But yeah. Anyway, are we only getting 2 legacy figures a year? Yes. That has been the pattern for a while now, yeah. For the last 3 years, right? Last year we got 2. This year we've got 2 listings, and I imagine same for next year. So yeah. Okay. Now, name only reveals that are left, of course, Iceberg, Deep Six, and Chabang. Yeah, well, we've already seen Deep Six a little bit. I might have to upgrade this a little bit and do a name only reveals section, a background Easter eggs section, a digital renders section, and we've seen the figures but they haven't gone up for pre-order yet. But here's a picture of what it looks like in real life section. It just gets a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? So I might even scrap this section completely. Digital renders I've upgraded to re-include Red Dog and Taurus, and of course Zanya and the Chameleon, because I'd taken them off thinking that was what I should have done. But then they're not for pre-order yet, so they're technically still in the render capacity. And yes, there are other figures that should be in here, but we don't have the renders yet. I'm just waiting for Tony to post them on his Instagram page, aka oh goodness me, I just keep forgetting who they are. Rock Claw needs to go up here in digital render form, because he's not a pre-order phase yet. Dire Night Creeper, that needs to go up there as well. And I suppose the 2-pack of ATV and what's his name. So they've got to go up there, but they can't because whatever. Background images would fall under your teasers page. Yes, they would, Airborne's customers, but I didn't have enough time to add it. So yeah, I'll add that to the teaser section for the next time. Okay, deal. Right then, let's have a quick message from our sponsor, and I'll be right back. But I will be right back, so don't go anywhere. Yes, make sure you go and get the deluxe Treasury editions of the Battle Action Force comics. They are phenomenal. TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe if you're there. And of course in the US, Skeletron.com and Amazon for every other single scenario, of course. Bored with figures. So speaking of the new Night Creeper, will there be a re-release of the Ghost Viper? Don't know, but I think it'd be worth them doing a sort of like, retro card would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Put it on like a special card back that isn't one that we've had before, like have a play on like the Night Force card back, but make it dire with a dire explosion in the background. I think that'd be so freaking awesome. And just like minimize some of the elements, obviously. Or if you just mean like a reissue of the original, so that people who missed out could get a few more, then I don't know, honestly. Sometimes some figures kind of, pop back up again and like just appear again, or like, show up on like a pre-order situation again. But yeah, it's hard to sort of predict that. And when we ask those questions, they usually can't tell us anything, but they usually say, we're listening. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Hey, Chris, do we know when the Kickstarter for the IDW compendiums start? Yes, we do. March 24th, I believe, at like 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make it glow in the dark card back. Exactly, Mark. They could really do something like, if they want to do something new as well for the brand, that would be dope. Doing like a play on, like sticking to the history and like what we would have had if they had dire figures back then. Also, do you think Super 7 should do like a Ghost Viper and a O-ring one? I do. I think it'd be so cool if they started incorporating like dire stuff in the Reaction Plus line. Anyway, any more questions before we roll? Would retro even work for non-retro characters? Well, that's what I mean, bored with figures. I feel like you can do something else with it, and it would be kind of fun, because it would be like the feeling, in the same way that we've had figures that never were released on O-ring in the past with Super 7. I think Classified could easily do retro inspired packaging. I think if it's cool enough and it looks good and people want the figure, I think all the rest is irrelevant. But I think it would be kind of cool to start doing that. If they're not going to do the obvious things like a Ninja Force card back, which we can't do because for some reason, because it's a Target exclusive, I just think we need other options in the retro card back department, because we need more than just the black background explosion or the digital explosion. We need like Sonic Fighters. We need Ninja Force. We need blooming Battle Core. I just want to see different design card backs for the retro series in the same way that you see with like Marvel when they do all those different like Spider-Man spin-offs and like it'd be so cool. So cool. Steps Toys. I sadly struck out on the Royal Guard, was making closing arguments. Oh wow. Hang on. In court when it went up. Well, that's a pretty good reason not to not get it, to not be able to. So I'm sorry that you didn't get him. Keep an eye out though, because you know they might pop up again. Roger X99 says, I don't remember who asked, but Dire Night Creeper is 202. Okay, cool. That's pretty old. But sorry, that was a bad joke. They all are though, aren't they? That's my whole shtick, is terrible jokes. But yes, they are. And just to confirm that hypothesis, 202 on the Night Creeper box there. Okay, cool. Bored with Figures thinks Steps Toys, you have your priorities wrong. You shouldn't be working as a clearly a lawyer, right? Unless you were just arguing with someone. PBJ says, so we have a cross draw situation with the harpoon pistol, kind of silly. What do you mean? A cross draw situation? Oh, you mean like because he's got to pull it out from an awkward angle or something? Yeah, I guess. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Seem to pop in and out of stock on BBTS, and there should be a ton of other places who offer it too, since it is a normal general release deluxe. That's true. You may even see it in. Does anyone see anything in stores? They may pop up in some stores. They might have some allocated for that. It should for it do its main line. We need a female green shirt first, and Valkyries in retro. That would be kind of cool. Does anyone think Zartan will go back up on either site again? What do you think? What do you think you sold out until at least he comes out? No, I think he'll probably pop in and out as well. Just you have to be kind of mindful, follow the right people like Preternia.com and 80s Toy Boy, and who else does Bloomin' Stark Sneaky Links, right? Roger X99. Steps Toys. I still say we need a black silver Cobra Trooper on the retro card back. That'd be cool. I would say yes to female Crimson Guard. Isn't really a retro character. True. That's true. Yeah, exactly. Royal Guard up on Big Bad Toy Store. Is it still? It's everywhere. BBTS, EE, etc. Brilliant. Cobra La Royal Guard still up on BBTS. Okay, good. It's still there. Brilliant. Bias says, my guess is her Tara is 195 since it's sitting in ports already. Maybe, but we don't know what the hell that is. So yeah, I would love to know what the crap that is. I may just ask the question. I'll probably get told get lost and stop asking us questions. They like to give me official information when it's like, you know, but if I ever ask anything that's like that, it's just like obviously not. Get lost. Amazon will get more. They like money, says Mark Roth. I was listening to closing arguments while ordering 2 Royal Guards, says Andrew. Andrew Law 4986. Man, there's a lot of lawyers in the chat here. Steps Toy says, just ordered from TF Toys, had to pay shipping, but I'll live with it, and I'll ask my firm to cover it as a disbursement. Classic. Well, if you know the law. Paul says it would be a cross draw either way with the knife. True. Good point on that. Oh, sorry, you mean having to kind of pull it out of awkward positions? Yeah. Again, like, I don't know. Yeah, like, I guess, is that really a problem though with an action figure? It's not actually going to have to do that physically. Hadn't realized the Royal Guard sold out on Pulse 2. Yes, it certainly did. All still available on Pulse UK if that's any use, says Diecast Nick, which is crazy to me. But I think Sharp's Sneaky Links. Thank you. Sorry, it was check out Sharp's Sneaky Links. Follow them on Facebook. That's Sharp SHARPS, Sneaky SNEAKY, Links LINKS on Facebook, as well as like all those others, because you will get whenever something goes up and you might have missed it before, you'll have an opportunity. Trust me, if you follow the right people. That's the main thing. Following the right people, and you'll get those links and what have you. I'm still waiting for a Vamp reissue or mainline release. Agreed, Huntress. I'm surprised they never did that. The only way you're getting Zartan Ninja Force will be on eBay, says Ryan. Yeah, probably. It's not. I mean, are they going to show up in Target? Do you think? Do you think loads of people are going to get like cancelled pre-orders and they'll start showing up in the stores, because that has happened almost every time now? But yeah, they do. I mean, they have been showing up. The only difference this time is that it's Zartan and it seems to be very, very popular. So just, bear that in mind. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't say you've lost the opportunity. I think there's going to be more opportunities for sure. Was anything said about Headman off camera? No. And if it was said in a way that I couldn't talk about it, I wouldn't be able to talk about it anyway. But I can tell you, like, quite adamantly, no, there was nothing. There was no sort of like nod, wink, wink situation. It was utilized for the storyline, and it just sort of seemed to make sense to include the character. But let's face it, I would be very surprised if that character isn't done at some point in the future. They really need to make more vamps. Yeah, I agree on that one. Where is the tan vamp with clutch? Another good shout, Steps Toys. I agree. We probably do need that one. I think Target stores will have plenty Zartan. Says Bias. Target puts them back up online right around street date, says Chris G. Tan vamp is nice, says Couch Boy. All the Target exclusives from last year have reached clearance state in multiple Target stores. And like I said, the only difference being that it's Zartan and quite a popular character. Ninja Force Zartan is the only Zartan that looks like he belongs with the Dreadnoks. Good point. Anyway, that's everything, I think. Sorry for not getting... Oh, it breaks realism, says PBJ. They really need to make more vamps. I already said that one. Sorry, PBJ. So it the cross draw thing breaks realism. I get it. I get what you're saying. But like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that affects you, and clearly, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because that's obviously how it's affected you, and I'm just saying that I don't personally have that same reaction to it. For me, I'm just happy that I can store weapons on the bloody thing, honestly. And he's going to be displayed in the pose that he is rocking, if you know what I mean. Like, it'll be like the harpoon will probably be out, Kitty said, and the knife will be stowed away. But yeah, if it's one of those things where you had ideas for sort of like photography, or you had like a little Dio story you wanted to do, then yeah, it's going to obviously affect that for sure. Thank you for being a credible source, says Andrew Law. Thank you very much. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it. I love it. I love this stuff. I love talking about it. I love getting in the weeds with all of this stuff. And I love, just exciting weekends where we get brand new cool figures to look at and check out. And then still, after that's happened, news and stories and related media are just happening, and it's still seeping out to the fact where I'm doing two-a-days. Do you remember there was one period last year where I went on an absolute tear? Like, it was probably through June and July, wasn't it? It was probably through that period. That is usually a very busy period in the world of G.I. Joe, for sure. This one's an absolute banger. I love Toy Fair more than any other event, because it's I can get to it, I can kind of get there, and I can see all this stuff in hand. That's something that I absolutely adore. More so than like your NYCCs, your SDCCs, your things like that, mainly because it's just one of those one of those kind of like practical things I can attend. But there have been times when I have done two-a-days on multiple days in a row. There was one, I think I did 6 episodes in like 3 days, and it was nuts. But I love it. It's fun. It's great. And who knows, there might be loads more still to come this week or whatever. But in any case, I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you so much, guys, for chatting with me tonight and going through all of this stuff and being patient with me in getting to Deep Six, because I like also to talk about the stuff that I'm the most excited about at the end. It's like saving that bit on your plate, saving your favorite part of the meal for last, and then, I don't know, eating whatever that last piece is. In any case, thank you so much. I will be back. I've got the Scott Johnson interview, which I will be working on tomorrow, and hopefully I can get that out, Kitty said. Well, it'll be this week, so either tomorrow or the day after. It'll either be Wednesday or Thursday, but that will be going out. Really fun. Had a great chat with Scott, and if you like, if you adore Scott's artwork like I do, here's some of it. He did Lifeline. Look, he did that whole wave. In fact, Scott's done loads. It's unreal. Andrew says my hiss tank coverage was impeccable. Hilarious. Well, the coverage, I meant the coverage when I was actually there, did the stream, and then did, my own batches of photos and the interview with Lenny and BMAC. But I get the hit there, Andrew. I'll take that hit. That is a good strike to the groin right there. Next year I will be definitely attending not the full weekend, but definitely the full Saturday of Toy Fair. It's already in the works in regards to press registration. So, well, as in I will be doing that for sure. So there won't be any of that. There won't be any of that sharing other people's stuff, because I'll be running around taking pictures of it myself. Okay, cool. Right then. See you on the next one, which could be tomorrow. It could be in 3 more minutes' time. But whatever. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.